to another episode of Is It Shit? And I was saying to Sean, it's about time we looked at another bus compressor, wasn't I, Sean?
You were just...
So what did you pick?
Well, I picked a mastering compressor.
Ah, that's how things work around here, people.
Got to change it up a bit. This is the SPL Iron, and SPL's hardware is world renowned as being amazing quality. Mastering studios the world over use their stuff. It's crazy money. It's really expensive, but it's amazing. And Brainworks, obviously, as is their thing, they have modelled the SPL Iron, and it is now available as a plugin.
Wonderful. So take us through it. Why would we want to spend that money, $299, on an SPL Iron?
So a mastering compressor is kind of, it comes after the mix compressor. So you have a bus compressor over your mix, you know, your SSL maybe, or whatever you want to use, and it glues the mix together. This is the sort of the final compressor in the chain, for me anyway, which just smooths out all the last bit of transient information that you want to just tame a little bit more, and it gives it that quality where it will probably play back on more different playback systems and sound more similar to what the mix is supposed to sound like. So it's a very subtle compressor. I mean, you can squash the crap out of it if you want, but it's not designed for that. It's designed to give this the final sheen of something that's just sat in the pocket dynamics-wise.
It's interesting you say that, because I can see you've put tube comp, and I would take that to mean something that you use to squash.
I mean, yeah, possibly. It just gives it, this is just how it works. So this is basically what's known as a vari-mu compressor. So there are two tube compressors in this running in parallel. So it's not one then the other, which is a bit like what the Shadow Hills does. This is two tube compressors running in parallel at the same time. The hardware runs at 120 volts, which is, it gives it so much more scope to run the tubes more efficiently, apparently, which is what makes it sound so good. So this has modelled all of that. It also does all the usual stuff that Brainworks does. It has the TMT, which is the tolerance modelling technology. It has the stereo thing and the mono maker, and you know, has a mix control and all of that stuff that you would expect to find on Brainworks. But it also has all the extras that the hardware has. So it has a switch for something called Airbase. What do you reckon Airbase does, Dave?
I don't know, but it sounds fucking cool.
Well, I thought, this is going to do something really cool to my bass and make it really airy. Yeah. But all it really does is put a smiley curvy Q on.
Okay.
So it pushes the top, pushes the bottom.
Makes the bass airy.
Makes the bass airy, gives the top end a load of
Scoop the mids.
Yeah, it's nice. It's one of those things you flip it on and go, yeah, does it? It's a simple EQ. Yeah. It's just a switch, works really well. It also has a setting for something called tape roll-off, which is a way to tame the highs in a very analog way. So same as, you know, mastering to tape would do, it just rolls off the highs in a very pleasing, rounded manner.
There seems to be a lot of these sorts of buttons that have peculiar names that do weird things that you don't quite understand, but make it sound sort of better.
Yeah, well, I think there's something about sound engineering how we want to give everything complicated terms to keep everyone confused. But yeah, they're all doing simple things, really.
Cool.
It has something called a rectifier, which I know a lot of people are confused about the rectifier, but basically that is a circuit that affects the tubes, and what it does, the effect it has, it changes the amount of attack and release. So although you can change that manually, changing the rectifier changes how they react to the incoming source material.
Incredibly complex, people. I think you'll agree. So we've mentioned the price, $299.
Yep.
Available from?
So it's plug-in alliance. So yeah,
so it's going to
be in a sale again. That's when I got it. I think I got it for like 50 quid or something like that.
Brilliant.
It's a really nice thing to have. If you're doing mastering yourself, you're going to need something like this. There's not many out there. I mean, I think I mentioned the Shadow Hills. That's similar, but is a lot more, I would say, aggressive and has more character. This has less character, but does just a slightly different thing. It's a cleaner thing. I really like it. I have it on my master bus. It's the last thing. If I'm not limiting, so if I'm sending it to be mastered by somebody, I would just go through a touch of this, literally taking off half a dB.
Okay, so if you want something expensive and overcomplicated that doesn't do much, the SPL Iron is where you want to be. So Sean, SPL Iron, in your opinion, is it shit?
No, I love it.
Sean loves it.
I really like this thing. Yeah, it's great.
It's because he's complicated and expensive as well.
I'm very expensive. And you've got to remember, you need to subscribe.
We need to remember that you need to click notifications so that you know when we are releasing more Is It Shit videos.
Exactly that. We'll see you next time.